Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Ever wondered what happens when a Zoomer who grew up on the Clone Wars,
a millennial Anakin defender,
and a grumpy old Gen Xer walk into a cantina to talk Star Wars?
then we've got the podcast for you.
Star Wars Generations is a place for fans of all backgrounds to come together, talk about why we love the franchise, and what we can learn from each other.
With so much new Star Wars content coming out, we take a deep dive into all of it. We talk stories and characters, what we learn about the Force and the Empire, Republics old and new, and how each story adds to the larger picture.
Besides episode-by-episode coverage of the new shows, we've been going back to watch the movies in release order. We talk about Star Wars novels and video games, along with fan content and cosplay.
And with each episode, we're just starting the conversation, and we hope you jump in. We'll read your feedback, answer your questions. We've even had full episodes dedicated to questions raised by listeners like you.
You can find us under Star Wars Generations on your favorite podcast app or by going to theethicalpanda.com. May the Force be with you.
Now this is podcasting.
Hey there, true believers. Andy Nelson here from the Marvel Movie Minute podcast with the rest of the team.
Pete Wright, Kyle Olson,
Rob Cabasco,
And Matthew Fox.
This is the podcast where we dissect the Marvel Cinematic Universe 1 minute at a time, exploring every detail of this epic superhero franchise.
In our season looking at Iron Man 3, we're going to mix things up a bit.
That's right, Rob and I are your guides, but instead of our usual minute-by-minute format, we dive into 5 minutes of the film in each weekly episode.
It's a totally new approach, but one that still allows us to explore all the depth and detail that makes these movies so special, even if Iron Man 3 isn't all that special.
Hold on, that's where you're wrong. Extremist, Shane Black.
Yeah, would you like to look at the Mandarin and Maya Hansen? Mm-hmm.
So whether you're a die-hard Marvel fan or just love deep dives into movies, there's something for everyone on Marvel Movie Minute.
Suit up and join us on this epic audio adventure. You can find us at truestory.fm or by searching Marvel Movie Minute on your favorite podcatcher.
Because in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, every minute is packed with excitement.
Enough said.
Ox Hare presents, in association with True Story FM, the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society. Today's adventure, I like myself like this.
Égalité, there you are.
Apologies for my tardiness. Someone catch me up? Big robot bugs are attacking City Hall.
Wrong in every way.
That's a voice I remember.
I am aphid alkaline. These are not bugs, which is a pejorative term in my community.
Your community.
Insect enthusiasts. There's more of us than you'd think.
I seriously doubt that.
Nevertheless, while they are large in stature, these insects are not robots.
They are mechanical. Go zap when you stab them and gears fall out.
Yeah, sounds pretty robotic to me.
They are, in fact, cyborgs, each one piloted by a fierce soldier ant.
Which explains the transparent dome. So slice, stab, avoid the head. That about cover it?
Zachariah! No!
How was Mrs. Dumers this morning?
Quiet, which was worrying in its own way, but I got her to the train station. Oh, did she finally tell you where she was going? She did not, and I didn't want to pry. She's been through worse. We just need to give her time.
Indeed, we will save our worrying for later. We have bigger flesh to fry.
We what?
I believe you mean fish to fry.
Do I? No. If you say so. We have a summit today.
Which summit is this? It came together rather quickly. You remember the Legions of Hell? I believe so. It was a crime syndicate, mostly based in Eastern Europe. Was is correct, because they are going through a bad breakup.
No, not Xavier.
The leaders had a split, and the Legions of Hell have become the Archangels and the Archdevils.
And they seem more interested in attacking each other than their traditional criminal pastimes.
Which would be fine, but the conflict has gotten intense. And now innocents are getting caught in the crossfire.
Oh, we can't have that. How did this cross our path? Have they made their way to Massalia?
Oh no, Yancy!
Thankfully, no. The tip came to us by way of Lady Voss.
There's a name I haven't heard in a while. I still have a thank you card for her work on filigree, but I haven't known where to send it.
Lady Voss wrote that if we proposed a peace talk, they might be willing to meet with us.
Why us?
Rupert! Say it isn't so!
Well, not us so much as her.
Her who?
Her me?
Why? Oh no.
Oh, yes. I'm afraid one of my ex-boyfriends has resurfaced.
You sure know how to pick them.
I do. And I picked you.
Well, your taste has definitely improved.
Do you remember me telling you about Sinjan Saber?
I do. Wasn't he training to become a priest when you met him?
Indeed. But there was one particular vow that he had trouble keeping.
I understand. Hate the sin, love the sinner.
Oh, I did.
Vincent! You were so young!
Didn't he get married?
He did! And you just know that?
His name resurfaced in the latest edition of Lady Codswallop's Guide to the Hoi Polloi, but it didn't mention the name of his spouse.
We don't know that either. It was pretty hush-hush, and soon after they started running the gang together.
When they broke up, the cartel split down the middle, like this.
Roderick, did the mean lady scare you?
Let's talk about this back home. As it appears, we've squashed our last ant.
Henry, come to mommy.
Aphid, I'm afraid.
Oh, can I do it?
Be my guest.
Aphid Alkaline, your ant armada has been amputated.
Had that in the chamber, huh?
Since we got here.
Not so fast. You may have stopped my colony, and thanks for not squishing them, by the way.
You are welcome.
But that was only phase 1 of my plan.
Oh, great.
Indeed, I am attempting to raise awareness of the plight of the bees.
What's wrong with the bees?
So much. I have a pamphlet.
Thank you. I'll read it later.
And she means that.
But the government is unconcerned. They care little for these hard-working pollinators. But I'm going to change all of that with this.
That's a weird-looking gun.
This is no mere firearm. This is a highly sophisticated beam emitter that...
But it's got a short name, right?
This empathy ray...
Called it.
...will cause my concerns to become their concerns. My worries to be their worries. But since you've prevented me from using it on the mayor, I'll just have to field test it on you.
Fraternité, watch out.
Are you two all right?
Yeah, I feel fine. Liberté?
Also fun.
You don't feel more emotionally connected to the insect kingdom?
Not really. I'm concerned about the bees now, but that's because you just told me about their problems.
Agreed. I like the ones that crawl and flitter, and dislike the ones that bite and sting. No change there.
Drat. I really thought I had the math worked out, but my degrees are in botany and entomology. What do I know about ray guns?
Not enough, it seems. I'm afraid we'll have to turn you over to the authorities.
While we applaud your efforts to raise awareness for your cause, perhaps forcibly changing someone's mind for them is not the best plan.
You might have skipped a few steps between pamphlets and ants piloting mechanical suits.
You think?
I'll give you a few ideas about using paperwork to your advantage while we head to jail.
Are you sure you're all right?
I feel fine, my love. Let's head back to the society. This was just the amuse-bouche. The real main course is still ahead of us. Thank you, dearest.
Of course. Now, what do we need to prepare for this peace summit?
It's not just that these are two dangerous criminals who order around some other dangerous criminals. They're also warring exes, so tensions will be running high.
And were that not enough, the reason this is happening is because of me. Zinnia, that is, not Madame Liberté.
And do we know how Sinjin feels about you?
We do not. We had a stormy breakup and never spoke again. But it was my name that brought him to the negotiation table.
So either he's still pining for you and hoping to rekindle, or he's carrying a grudge and wants to confront you. And I can't imagine his ex-wife will be happy that his ex-girlfriend is there.
Cherchez la femme.
Ha! Jinx!
What is a jinx?
It's a child's game and one we're not playing. If we don't get these two to play nicely, it will be bad for them, for us, and for so many people.
Things will have to be,
Absolument parfait.
exactement.
Now, how do we want to play this? Like a business discussion? Are we going to try and get them back together?
That might be a little too much to ask. Let's just see if we can get them to be civil with each other.
All's fair in love and war. Jinx, now you cannot speak until I release you.
I thought you'd never heard of Jinx before.
I haven't. And just like that, I knew.
Uh-oh. Oh, I don't feel so good.
Goldie, Zinnia, both collapsed. No blood. They're both breathing. It was like a puppet and someone cut the strings. Oh, wake up, please. Oh, my darling.
Yes, sweet Saffron. I'm awake.
I hurt my everything.
Mon Dieu, my head is swirling.
This isn't funny.
Do you hear me laughing?
Were you just kissing me?
Of course, you're my wife.
No, I'm your wife. Wait, who is that gorgeous creature you are cradling in your arms? Is that me?
What am I doing over there? And am I that tall?
Oh boy, this is a new level of strange. Zinnia?
Yes, my love, I'm right here.
Goldie?
Present and in two places at once.
And this isn't a prank.
Not my style. I could think of way funnier stuff than this.
Zinnia is in Goldie's body, and Goldie is in Zinnia's body.
Ooh, that's about the size of it.
How are you both okay with this?
Dunno. Must be a side effect of the, effect.
Perhaps it is only the temporary. Come, Goldie, embrace me. Perhaps the souls will find their way home.
Sure, worth a shot. This is nice. I'm hugging myself, and I am a good hugger. It's like, whoa, hands.
Apologies, I've never felt myself from the outside. Worth further investigation, we.
What? No. I mean, that is my body. It wouldn't be inappropriate to. Whoa.
What is it? What happened?
I don't know. I started imagining some stuff, and it was like a rush of energy, a kind of frisky energy.
Ah, yes, I know this feeling very much. Look over at Saffron.
Okay, I'm looking.
No, really look at her.
Oh, you feel like this all the time?
Not all the time, not for everyone, but for her, the fire never goes out.
I want to go to her, touch her, but I know I can't. Why am I not rushing across the room to embrace her?
Because the only thing more powerful than my loss is my restraint.
I feel like I'm holding an ocean behind a door.
Now, my turn. Let me look at myself through your eyes.
I can't.
Don't worry, we are looking, not touching. Not bad. I have held up much better than I expected, considering the wear and the tear.
Ladies. Oh my. Seeing both of you looking at me like that, it's overwhelming.
Oh my breast.
What's wrong?
Oh, feeling. I started to realize I hadn't considered your emotions in this, when suddenly I was awash in concern for you.
Oh, yeah. That.
Goldie, the depth of your feelings, the love, yes, but the concern, the fear, the joy, the heart is a puddle, but you are a river.
You'd better be careful.
When I feel the love you have for us, and then your romances, Nick, Dudley.
Hey, that is not a hallway you want to walk down right now.
Oui, you're right. It's just, you feel so deeply.
feelings, of course. My head is finally clearing.
Well, that makes one of us.
It was the ray. Aphid's empathy ray. It really did work. Just not the way she imagined.
It does make sense, yes? To understand someone is to walk in their shoes.
Or in their underwear, in this case.
I'm sure Aphid is still down at the police station. I need to get to her and see if she knows how to undo this. But I can't exactly leave you two alone.
I'm totally fine now.
I cannot be trusted.
But there's another problem.
What now?
We have to be at the summit in about an hour.
Oh no.
They're expecting her, me. I mean, someone who looks like me but talks like her. No, not talks like, but knows the things.
I have intimate knowledge of this man, it's true.
Can we not keep coming back to that?
He keeps coming back, that's for sure.
Zinnia Goldie is a saucy minx.
Can we please focus up?
Of course, you are correct. Things are at a tipping point. We must try to make this work. Goldie and I will go to the summit.
We will?
Oui. They will be looking for me, and I will need you to be me. Pretend to be me. And I will be beside you as your...
assistant?
I had a different idea, but this works.
I'll find a way to reverse this, then head back to you as quickly as I can.
A kiss for luck?
Of course.
Whoa, slow down there. I think you want to aim those lips that way.
Oh, right.
I am prepared.
This feels weird. Goldie, is this all right with you?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. It's not something I've seen from this angle.
For luck.
For luck.
Oh, that's sweet. And that's less sweet. Hands.
So far, the things are looking calm.
How'd you find this place?
Oh, lucky Louise. The owner owed us a favor. He's been down on his luck.
Isn't that ironic?
Don't you think? He let us use the place for pennies, not dollars.
I think you mean pennies on the dollar. Don't know what the problem is. Good location. It's got a whole outdoor area with... Is that a swimming pool?
The two things Louis has trouble keeping clean are his kitchen and his books.
Gotcha. The layout is smart. Dual buffets with the room split down the middle.
Angels on one side, devils on the other. And we walking the line between them. Poetic, no?
Poetic, yes. Do you see our guy?
Ah, there he is. Let us find out what there is to find. Oui?
Gotcha. Here we go. Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour.
I told him, I said the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by...
St. John, you have certainly kept yourself looking well.
Thank you, miss, but I don't believe we've met before.
Never met? How can you say such
Bonjour, St. John. It's me, Zinnia, your old friend?
Zinnia, I say to thee now, the cherubim and seraphim who crafted your form certainly took their time and built it to endure.
Yeah, thanks. And blessings right back at ya.
You don't sound quite the same.
Oh, that. I married my English teacher. She's great.
And is this she?
No, this is Goldie. She's my assistant.
A pleasure to meet you, miss. May the good Lord make his face shine upon you.
I see you are still consulting with your good book.
Still?
Yes, I have told her stories of our time together and how you were studying to become a man of the cloth.
My faith may have shifted, but it has never left me, and I refuse to hide it under a bushel.
But you're a crime boss.
That is one way of looking at it. But did the Lord himself not associate with the disreputables, spend his time with the unclean and the fallen? Who am I to do any different?
Your congregation is so well dressed, it appears your fruits have been bountiful. How does that fit in?
I give to Caesar what is Caesar's and keep the rest for myself. Ministries do not pay for themselves.
How can you just... My lady, it has been so long since you two have reconnected. I myself would be curious how you two feel seeing each other again before you get into any discussions of morality.
Oh, yes. Good thought. St. John, I can't even recall the last time we saw each other. How do you feel now that we're in the same room together?
It was quite a journey that we took together. Exploring the scriptures together, then our hearts, then our bodies, taking those steps together for the first time.
First time? Not even close.
Our paths diverged and have now crossed again. We have so much to catch up on.
Ah, gotcha. I did mention that I'm married, didn't I?
Yes, to a woman. Which means you have a place for a strong man in your life. As the good book says, a woman should...
I'm just gonna stop you right there.
Do you not feel the...
Perhaps we should wait until after the serious business of the day is settled before we discuss who might be feeling what.
I will see you at the negotiating table. Peace be with you.
Sometimes with your exes, I see it. But this guy...
In his younger days, he was filled with ideas, so passionate in his discussions. Now it seems that imagination has been curdled with dogma.
So we're agreed. Gross.
Indeed. However, with such a man, you must not shut him down so quickly. We need to keep him tantalized until we have what we want.
But fine. I don't know how you can still flirt with someone who grosses you out.
It's a skill. Now, our next step needs to be finding his opposite on the Archdevil's side.
Don't worry, I've got a sense for power. It'll be someone that people are fawning over, trying to catch her eye, earn the smile and the nod and the... Oh boy.
What is he? Oh boy, I do not know this one.
Oh man. Oh geez. Oh wow. I'm having another of those flash floods again.
You are? From where?
Woman. Dark hair. Corner. Cheekbones that could cut glass. Body like...
I see. And oh dear.
Your body is really responding to her. Let me guess.
Oui, Marie Dyer. It appears that I have been with both members of this warring cartel.
You slept with the heads of the Montagues and the Capulets?
I did. It wasn't at the same time, if that helps.
It really won't. But that doesn't explain the surge I got when I looked at her, as opposed to the little spritz when I saw him.
This is where things get more complicated. Marie wasn't just another fling. She was the one that got away.
Oh boy.
Madame Egalite, have you finally become concerned about the plight of my buzzy little boys?
I am sympathetic, but I have bigger problems. What did you do to my friends?
Me? Nothing. I've been locked up in here since fraternity delivered me to the jail. Why?
They're not themselves.
I don't see how your domestic issues are any of my concern, especially when our chief pollinators have stopped pollinating.
Since you zapped them with your ray, they haven't been acting like themselves.
Who have they been acting like?
Each other.
Ah, so I didn't fix that side effect.
Side effect? They've swapped bodies.
Yes, that does track with my data. You see, I've only tested the device on insects. And while I adore them, there's not much difference in insectoid personalities.
What did you find?
Skills and knowledge seem to have transferred from one to the other.
And
that was that. I turned my attention toward building the cyborg insectoid bodies.
You just gave up?
No. I allocated my resources differently, but in a very scientific way.
Can you fix it?
Fix what?
The ray, the problem. Do you have a cure?
Oh, no. If you recall, the ray was destroyed in our kerfuffle, and I'm afraid we don't have time for me to construct a new one.
What do you mean we don't have time?
Another unfortunate side effect. Well, unfortunate for you, a breakthrough for me. I was specifically targeting the part of the brain that focused on empathy, you see.
Yes, and?
And that meant that when the mental energy was swapped, it was more amenable to its new location.
I'm going to need you to make that much clearer.
Ah, I see the or else. And it's very pretty, by the way. What that means is that after a certain time period, the neurons adjust to the new amplitudes and settle in.
If I don't get to them in time, this change will be permanent?
Yes, but the good news is that they'll be fine with it.
I'm not fine with it.
These things happen.
You made them happen. You'll make them unhappen.
I can't help you.
There's got to be a way out of this.
Best to just accept the change. Caterpillars become butterflies. That's just their life cycle.
A cycle. A circuit. They were in sync.
Oh dear. I'm afraid you've gone quite daffy.
No, I'm onto something. At the start, a few hours after you blasted them, they started speaking in sync.
They did? How fascinating. I wish I'd tested it on mammals sooner.
Which means there was a connection between them, an energy circuit that we couldn't see.
Yes, that makes sense. This is quite remarkable. I don't suppose you consider going in on a paper with me about this.
How do I reverse the loop before it breaks? Rotate them back to where they started.
Interesting. I've never considered that idea. I'm forming a hypothesis. It's forming. I'm forming it now. The hypothesis is forming.
Think faster.
My, you are quite the motivator. Have you ever thought of going into education? For their energy transfer, a circuit was created. It must still exist, but is diminishing rapidly.
I'm following. So what do I need to do?
Let's see. How do I explain this in a way your unscientific brain can understand? Aha! Eureka! You're going to need to give them a jolt.
A jolt.
Indeed. And it's going to need to be a fairly large one.
How do I do that?
You're not going to like this part.
Hey there, Marie. How's it going?
Zinnia. Huh. Here you are. After all these years, that's how you greet me?
Oh, yeah, I just didn't know how you were going to react. She kissed me, then she slapped me. This how your reunions usually go?
Many times?
Oui. I waited for you.
You did?
Who is this?
My friend Goldie. She knows the whole story. Go on.
All those things you said, those things we did, I broke my vows for you. And then when things got too hot, when you'd had your fun, you were just gone.
I'm so sorry. I got busy? No. Kidnapped? Also, no. Fell in love with someone else?
Yes, but much later.
You decided on your lie yet?
I apologize for butting in, but Zinnia has told me the whole story about her broken heart.
Her broken heart?
Yes. She told me that when your parents discovered your indiscretions, they stole you away.
Mummy and Daddy have always been very protective of their little girl.
But I searched for you. I did, right?
Well, of course you did. You only stopped when you got that letter.
What letter?
Yeah, what letter?
The one you let me read. The ink was blurry from her tears, but it laid out very clearly how we could never be together and how you regretted leading me on, and that I should never contact you again. I'll never forget the last thing you wrote. If suddenly you forget me, do not look for me, for
I shall already have forgotten you. Neruda.
I do not know this word.
I didn't write those words. They're from a poem by Pablo Neruda. It's my mother's favorite poet.
You had your mother write your breakup letter? Weird.
No, she wrote it. I never knew. I knew she hated you, but never about this. I thought you gave up on me.
Oh, Marie.
Ew, get away.
Perhaps you should try hugging her instead of...
Oh, right, got it. Oh, Marie! Oi, new body, same pain.
You don't get to just sashay and spin this story and now everything's fine. You were the only woman I ever loved. I swore off women entirely after you.
I mean, could any woman really compare?
What? Who are you? Why are you even part of this?
She's just very chatty. Marie, I'm so sorry I hurt you, that things didn't work out. I'm not trying to take away anything you're feeling, but I was hurting too for a long time.
You were?
Almost definitely. We never really got our chance to see if what was could still be what is. And I mourn for that loss.
So do I.
But finding another person that I hurt and getting together with them? I don't think that's a basis of a solid relationship. Mutual hate makes strange bedfellows.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Wait, are you talking about Sinjin? Why would he... Are you saying you slept with my husband?
I mean, he wasn't your husband at the time. It was long before I met you.
After.
It was long after I met you.
It was right after. Immediately after. I had a whole thing about punishing God.
You are really not helping.
I was willing to forgive you after having fallen in love, real love, with someone like Sinjin. But to know that you and him, wait, you were the fire-haired temptress that stole him away from the clergy.
I was?
It was a bit more complicated than that.
I want to hurt you so badly, but I won't.
That's a good instinct. Go with that.
I don't have to. Not when I've got a room full of violence doers who will do violence for me. Archdevils, get ready for a fight.
Did I hear the clarion call of violence? My archangels are more than ready to rain down fire and brimstone.
Kill anyone who isn't us.
This is not good. So not good.
Could this day get any stranger?
Surrender or die by the hand of Madame Egalite.
Turns out it could.
You, with the toupee. I take it you're Sinjin's saber.
I'm not sure to whom you might be referring vis-a-vis the hairstyle you mentioned.
Come off it. We all know it's fake. See?
My dignity.
My sword at your neck.
In that case, I am indeed Sinjin's saber. You seem to have me at a disadvantage for the moment.
Now is our chance. Strike while she is...
I should warn you, I never get distracted. And luckily, I brought 2 swords, one for each of you.
Is that your Flysa?
It is. Whatever she's planning, it must be serious.
You two, the chatty Cathys, why not come and join us?
Us? Sure.
Whatever you say, beautiful bandit.
Now, devils and angels, I know some of you might be feeling ambitious. Your bosses die and you might move up the food chain. I would remind you that you're currently surrounded by all your fellows who might have the same idea, the same ones who you'd hope to lead. And they're all thinking the same thing. I'm going to take these folks poolside for a nice chat. My advice? Let someone else take the first shot.
At last, a moment of peace. When were you...
No one said you can speak. I'll get to you in a moment. First, these two.
If your intent is to break the 8th commandment, I would advise against it.
Which one is the 8th?
Covet, I think? It's thou shalt not steal. And I don't intend to. I'm going to ask questions, and you're going to answer them.
Ah, so it's extortion.
You have nothing I want. Let's start with you, Baldy.
Must we resort to name-calling?
We must. Do you love her?
What?
Marie, your wife. Right here. Do you love her?
It's not so simple as that. Relationships are complicated, multi-layered, as the good book says.
If I was to take this sword and stab it right through her heart, would you try to stop me? Or let it happen?
Please, you're hurting me.
One push and all your problems are over. The king is all yours. You're a single man again. All you have to say is... nothing. Only we'll know.
Egalite, what are you doing?
Quiet, you. Your time is coming. Interrupt again, and you'll see this blade up close and personal.
Aye.
Time's up. Guess you'd rather be a widower. Say hi to St. Peter for me, Marie.
I love her. Please, don't. I don't want to go on without her. If you must kill me. I mean, don't kill me. I don't want to die, but not her.
Sinjin, you still love me?
Of course, I always have. I just don't know how to do this, how to be good for you.
St. John.
Not so fast. You stay where you are. St. John, strip.
What?
Down to your civvies. Do it now while we ladies have a little chat. Now for you, ma'am.
I love him. I actually do.
Sometimes love just ain't enough. What's your problem with him? I already know that he lies, he cheats, and he steals. Feels like he's working his way through those commandments he holds so highly. Is there a neighbor's wife or ox or servant he's got his eye on?
No, it's nothing like that. He ignores me. We assembled the legions of hell together, but slowly he took all of it for himself. Left me alone, never telling me where he was or what was going on. He wasn't lusting after a maid. He was making me into one.
I didn't know you felt that way. I was trying to take away your stress, make your life easier, safer. I wanted to protect you.
But without asking me if that's what I wanted.
Looks like you could use a lesson in listening.
He certainly could.
We're making some progress here. Now, Marie, strip for me.
I couldn't.
I assure you, you can. Just down to your unmentionables. That's a girl. This is the janitor's private bungalow. Louis doesn't know it's here, but I've snuck in before. Now I'm going to lock you two in here together. You can kill each other, work together to escape, or something else entirely. But all of this ends tonight, in here, with the two of you. Come hell or high water. Do we have an understanding?
We do.
After you.
Thank you. Did I ever tell you that I prefer you bald?
No, you never did.
My love, this was a bit unorthodox, but I must say, you kissed me. Huh. You kissed Goldie's mouth.
I've made some decisions tonight. I like this new setup.
You what?
The way I see it, I get the best of both worlds. Zinnia, my love, you still want me, right? Want to stay with me?
Of course.
Then it seems like I've just traded you in for a newer model. My loving wife's mind, but in a brand new body to explore.
What?
You've known about my secret fantasies about Goldie, right? You had to have known the way I've leered at her.
What are you saying?
Oh, are you still here?
What does that mean?
It means my wife and I have some new things to try, and it will just be too weird with her old body wandering around like the ghost of partners past.
You want me to leave?
I thought you were the smart one. We've carried you for long enough. We want you gone from the society, from Massalia. Time to fly away, Mary.
Don't call her Mary.
Go cry to your boyfriend about it. Oh, wait. You can't.
Saffron, why are you doing this? Being so cruel.
Cruel to be kind. This way we get to have it all. Out with the old and in with the new.
Did something happen to you? Did she change you too?
I just opened my mind to the new reality and decided to embrace it. Now, just do as you're told.
No one tells me what to do.
Saffron?
Zinnia?
Goldie?
Marie.
St. John.
A stinker.
Adult Swim. Everybody into the pool. Zinnia?
I'm here. I'm wet, I'm confused, but I'm here.
Goldie?
Yeah. Ditto. All of the above. Hey! I'm Egan! Hello, buddy, I missed you.
At last, my voice sounds the normal again.
Let's dry off and see if we can straighten things out. While our clothes are drying off, here you go. Towels for you, Goldie. And for you, my love.
Thank you, dear heart.
Thanks. And whoa, these are nice. So soft.
I know where Louis keeps the good towels, the high quality ones that he never lets the guests use.
How are things over there in not so solitary confinement?
Some very happy noises emanating from inside.
Good for them. Am I happy about two criminals getting freaky on each other?
We celebrate love wherever it blossoms. Justice will arrive for them. Just not right at this moment.
The back doors are secured, so we won't have any uninvited guests. Let's just imagine we've rented out the pool area for our own private event.
Ugh, great. Now, can we talk about what just happened?
You remember it all?
Every word. Unfortunately.
You have some explaining to do, young lady.
I absolutely do. I'll save you the details of my interrogation of Aphid, but the shortened version is that she said I had to shock you back into yourselves and then break the connection.
What does that mean?
That's what I asked. But it was all theoretical. I decided I had to act out of character, confuse you both, get your blood pounding, and then splash into the water to get it to short circuit.
You couldn't think of any other ways to get our blood pumping? Because I can think of a few.
Oh, I considered that.
You did?
And quickly dismissed it. I know my wife too well. She might never have stopped going with that flow.
There was decision.
But all those things you said.
Lies, Goldie. All lies. You know I love you. But honestly, I don't think of you that way. I never have. Not that you're not a lovely woman.
But I'm not your type. I get it. Same, really.
I have many types, as we have seen.
So I knew I couldn't get to you that way. I had to turn your attractions against you, reverse the polarity, so to speak, make the fantasy into a nightmare. I hope I didn't go too far, but I was willing to do whatever it took to get things back to normal, at least our version of normal.
You did what you had to do, and we thank you for getting us back to where we belong.
She may be humble, but this body's still home.
How are you both feeling?
Honestly, a little sore. Who knew returning from a vacation could leave a person so tired?
On this, we agree. I feel as if I have just completed a wrestling match.
I have a good cure for sore muscles. It's been far too long since I've been skinny dipping. See you in the pool. Cannonball!
Wait, Saffron has a tattoo?
More than one, actually.
Still learning things, even after all this time.
My adorable wife, she never ceases to amaze. Goldie, we shared something today. You have known me in a way that no one else really has.
That street runs both ways.
And has that changed how you feel about all of this? Our life, our situation?
You know what? No. I think it just makes me understand you better. I've always felt like a passenger in this meat wagon, but with you, your body really speaks to you, but you don't let it run the show. Maybe I should learn to listen a little closer. Does that make any sense?
It does, and I take it as the compliment it was intended as. The power of your emotions was almost overwhelming to me. And to know that you have reserved some of that boundless love for us, it is something I will always treasure.
Come on, you two. I don't like swimming alone.
We are on our way. Shall we?
My first time skinny dipping. Why not? Hey, one more thing. We agreed to never tell Saffron about the 15 minutes of alone time we each spent in our rooms before we left for the summit, right?
Agreed. Some things are better kept private. Mine was very eye-opening.
And mine was quite toe-curling.
Thank you for the loan.
Right back at you.
Get in here.
On our way, ready to take the plunge?
Let's do it.
Hello? I think we've settled our differences. Can someone let us out?
Not so fast. I'm not done with you yet.
Hallelujah.
Season 5, Episode 7, I Like Myself Like This, was written, directed, and edited by Kyle Olson, starring Amy Shaw as Zinnia, Anastasia Plum as Saffron, Cara Gallo as Goldie, hey, that's me, Justin Kent as Sinjin, and Valerie Lavelle as Marie. Our theme song is written and performed by Headley Knights, and our interstitial music is Intended Force by Kevin MacLeod. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Ox Hare so you won't miss the next thrilling adventure. The Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society is an Ox Hare media production. Old format, new ideas.
I get the idea, but putting this many popular search terms in one ad is... No, I'll do it. This is Kyle from TrueStory.fm, and I'm here to encourage you to become a supporter of our shows. You'll marvel at what a great deal it is from here to DC. If it's your election to pay just $5 a fortnight, you can get early access to ad-free episodes plus bonus content made just for members. Why, that's less than an espresso. You'll be a star. Wars have been fought over less amazing treasure. You look nice. Did you get a new tailor? Swiftly head over to truestory.fm/join to find out how you can become a member. It's a great place to be. Your own personal pink pony club. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye when I'd rather say hello, kitty. Is that what you wanted?